Good morning, everybody, from Petra. Just had a quick breakfast and now we're on our way to the visitor center to meet our guide for the day. Super excited, let's go explore this wonder of the world. The reason why we are up at 5:30 in the morning to get to Petra by 6:30 and meet our guide is because if you're staying here in Wadi Musa, which we are, you can beat all the crowds if you get up super early, because all of the day trips from Amman don't get here until about 10 to midday. So huge tip if you're trying to do Petra and not sure what to do, stay in Wadi Musa, get here early, and you'll beat the crowds. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some people here, but you won't get the majority of the tourists that you will later in the afternoon.
On how to dream the owner was. These are 3 of them. And we'll see one more. And he arranged this for his family to live in, a family of 5 members.
Now we're about 10 minutes into our tour, making our way down to Petra, and our guide is just explaining to us the different facades and stuff and the rocks, and we were just in a little cave, which was super cool because you can see the evidence that there was a door from the erosion and stuff. And he was explaining to us that they would live in these facades and they would also be buried in there. So interesting, a lot different from today. From there we made it deeper into the city of Petra, where our guide explained to us these aqueducts on each side of the canyon, which the Nabateans used to get water to the deepest part of the city. On our way to the treasure, we passed different facades and artwork, including the last clip you're going to see 2 human feet with 2 camel hooves. It used to be an art sculpture of 2 people holding a camel through the desert. Truly incredible that it's lasted this long, and super cool that it was in the rock. We made it to the super famous point that you see on Instagram and other parts of YouTube, so check out these views of the treasury. The treasury is believed to have been built by King Artus V in the 1st century AD as a memorial to his deceased wife. The reason it's called the treasury is because the Bedouin people believed that there was treasure inside. In fact, you can see bullet holes today from the early 19th century in which they shot to try and free up any treasure that was not inside. The first floor of the treasury is actually found below ground, which you'll see in the next clip, in which they excavated skeletal remains 30 years ago. Parted with our guide, and we're doing the last part of the journey to the monastery, which is about 800 steps, so got a while to go. After quite the walk, we made it to the monastery finally.
That wasn't a walk.
Outside of the monastery here, let's go ahead and check out what's inside. It looks like there's some writing. I'm gonna flip the camera and show you guys. So our guide was explaining to us that the monastery was only used as a temple. I know I explained to you guys earlier about the treasury, but the monastery was only ever used as a temple by any civilization that had lived here. We made it to a higher viewpoint than the monastery. Take a look, absolutely unreal. Now we start the 2-hour walk back to the visitor center in Petra. The way out might be longer and more tiring than the way in. So we are back from Petra. We came back and kind of just passed out for like 3 hours. Overall, so it was a really good experience. I highly recommend going in the morning. We got up at 5:30, ate breakfast at 6, and met our guide at 6:30. If you do that, it would really pan out better, because in the last clip that I showed there, you can see the difference in people from when we were first at the treasury versus when we came back. And just in general, there's so much more people, and it gets really hot. So like I said, get there early, get super hot, and a lot of people. Next, prepare to spend a lot of money. Regardless if you go with a guided tour or not, something that I wasn't aware of, I mentioned the Jordan Pass in my other video, and I don't know the ins and outs of that regarding Petra, but for 2 normal tickets, it's 50 JD, so it's quite expensive to get in, so just be prepared for that. And lastly, be prepared for a ton of walking. It's not too bad until the very end when you're leaving, because you have to go all the way to the monastery and then all the way back, and that last like half hour is a killer. However, completely worth it, but I just want to give those pieces of advice. With that being said, let's go get some dinner and see where the night takes us. Just finished up some dinner, and before I go, I want to show you guys this super cool feature about this room that I've never had anywhere else in the world. So normally at hotels, right, they have the little thing that you put on the door that says do not disturb, or I need my room cleaned or whatnot. So check this out. So you just press it, and we go out here, and there's our room number in the green. And if we want do not disturb again, press, and it's back on do not disturb. How cool is that? That's gonna wrap up the video from here, guys. Huge shout out to the Town Season Hotel here in Wadi Musa. If you're coming to Petra, I highly recommend staying here. And if you are, I would just stay here in general for a day or two. It gives you time to just kind of relax and take your time instead of rushing from a day trip from Amman. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Super exciting video series coming soon in the coming days. So wherever you are in the world, saying good night from Wadi Musa, Jordan. Bye.